So we have lots of conversations all the time about AI, just different applications in mental health. And when people listen to our episode on that, they will get more information. But one of the key aspects of utilizing AI, such as Chat GPT, is making sure that you have the most beautiful prompt to help generate the best response that you're looking for. So, you know, lots of people are stuck on wait lists right now, looking to find a therapist, looking to figure out, you know, how to best address their mental health needs. But we know, we've talked a lot about how there's such a huge bottleneck in the mental health system, and people are waiting a long time to get in to see somebody. But AI presents us an opportunity to get information pretty quickly on things that we can do to help ourselves if we're feeling like our mental health or the mental health of someone we love is deteriorating or needs a little bit of attention.
Yep, definitely.
So I figured it would be good for us to maybe just go through some prompts that anybody could use to put into Chat GPT or some other AI mechanism. Bard.
That's Google's AI.
Yeah. To generate, you know, some good tips, tricks, resources, all that. So we work a lot with children and families. It's summertime right now. For a lot of people, if it hasn't been the last day of school yet, it's probably coming up pretty quickly. And one of the questions that I get asked a lot is,
what am I going to do with these kids?
Yeah, that. What, you know, it's, yes.
It's the structure of school is gone. This is a tough time of the year for us.
It's a tough transition for both kids and I know for myself, when the last day of school came and I was like to the teachers, like, are you sure?
I moved out of my house. I don't know what they're doing.
I was like, I just need one more week to get my life. But one of the things that comes up often is, you know, kiddos who have been diagnosed with ADHD, figuring out what to do about their medication regime over the summer, right? Because helps them to pay attention when they have to pay attention and sitting in rows in school, but do we give them a break? Do we not? And so maybe let's see what Chat GPT has to say about that.
I love this.
Okay, so also, just disclaimer, we're not saying that you should be taking medical advice from AI, right? We all know as parents. Disclaimer. We all know as parents that we Google and we take information and we apply it to what we know about our children and in collaboration with anybody that we're working with, providers. But sometimes it's good to have some information under our belt before we jump into those conversations with other people.
Yep. We do the best we can with the information we have.
Exactly. Okay, so let me see. A good prompt for AI. Maybe we say we're using Chat GPT for this?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we say something like, you are a world-renowned expert child psychiatrist, right? And then we say, what advice would you give to a parent considering taking their child off of their ADHD medications for the summer break? And let's see if it gives advice. I think there might be a disclaimer at the beginning, whatever it generates.
Probably, yeah. I'm just cleaning this up because I was letting your voice do the talking, the typing.
Need like Jeopardy music. Do
do do do do do do do do do. Do 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 do. Okay, it already came back with a response.
Okay, what does it say?
As a child psychologist, is that what you wanted?
I want a psychiatrist, but let's see what it says.
Okay, I would advise parents to consult with their child's prescribing doctor before making any decisions about medication.
Okay.
Every child's situation is unique, and it's important to consider the potential benefits and risks of stopping ADHD medication during the summer break. A prescribing doctor can provide personalized guidance. So let's change that prompt
The
to
psychiatrist.
psychiatrist and see.
And say, okay, so maybe based off of that, we clean up the prompt a little bit and say, so what do you have so far?
You are a world-renowned expert child psychiatrist.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to a parent considering taking their child off of their ADHD medications for summer break?
Okay, so instead of saying what advice, say what are factors that you would consider when deciding whether or not to take a child off of ADHD medication for the summer. So like instead of asking for advice, like asking for like the considerations. Is that a copyright infringement?
Hashtag Jeopardy. Who's the actual host now?
Jennings, is it that dude that won?
Ooh,
I think it is. I don't know why I say
there
that.
was a lot of what. I wanted the Reading Rainbow guy to get to it. Reading Rainbow, Reading Rainbow, Reading Rainbow. Am I down the right track with that? No.
Reading-
I was singing like Water Country.
Yeah! Are you?
Have some fun.
Reading Rainbow, Reading Rainbow, Reading Rainbow.
No.
Have some fun.
Now I can't remember the Reading Rainbow song.
No.
Butterfly in the sky, I can fly twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
Shoot, I know that song. I also know the Water Country jingle.
Oh my God, Water Country.
Okay,
Okay, what's it say?
hilarious. Okay, as a world-renowned expert child psychiatrist, there are several factors to consider when deciding whether to take a child off their ADHD medication for summer. 1, individual needs. Evaluate the child's specific needs and symptoms. If their ADHD symptoms significantly impair their functioning in daily activities, it may be beneficial to continue the medication even during a break. 2, overall functioning. Assess how well the child is managing their ADHD symptoms with medication. If medication is helping them succeed academically, socially, and emotionally, it may be worth continuing to maintain stability. 3, safety and well-being. Consider any potential risk factors or safety concerns associated with not taking medication. For example, if a child's impulsivity or hyperactivity poses a risk of injury or difficulty in structured activities, medication may be necessary for their well-being. Parental support. Evaluate the level of support and structure that parents can provide during the summer break. If parents are equipped to implement strategies to manage ADHD symptoms effectively without medication, it may be worth exploring alternative interventions. Long-term goals. Discuss the child's long-term goals and aspirations with the prescribing doctor. If the child's goals involve maintaining consistent academic progress or addressing specific challenges, medication may be an important tool in achieving these goals. Ultimately, the decision should be made collaboratively with the child's prescribing doctor, considering the child's individual needs, safety, and long-term goals. It's essential to carefully weigh the potential benefits and risks of continuing or discontinuing ADHD medication during the summer break.
Perfect. So I think that's perfect. Like that is exactly
All the
what
things
we
you
would
really
say.
want to think through.
Yeah, all the things that we would, any advice that we would give, any advice that a psychological enhanced response liaison would give. And so I think the key takeaway is when you're looking for answers, asking Chat GPT to take on the stance of consideration from that person that you would be collaborating with, right? So like you as a parent are already going to know what you're considering, what you're thinking about, but it's helpful to go into that collaborative conversation with an understanding of what that provider would be thinking about and, you know, giving you advice and or, you know, helping you to make that decision.
Yep. And I think from a parental perspective, you know, raising a child with mental health needs, there are so many appointments,
Yeah.
right? And so if this is something that you're thinking about and you're going to have to go in for an appointment, and a lot of times that may require travel and all the things that come with that, you know, missing work, so on and so forth, it may be really helpful to go through and ask it through the lens of a child psychiatrist and actually have sort of like this Q&A with yourself, because it might help you to say, you know, actually in thinking about some of these things, I know that this isn't something that I would actually do,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you don't still have the conversation, but maybe it's an email,
Yeah.
you know, and saying, you know, I was thinking about taking my son off this medication, but I was thinking it through, and these are some of the things that I think why I shouldn't, but just wanted to see if your thinking is in line with that, right? And now you have maybe not had to take the afternoon off of work or taking
Yes.
your kid out of summer camp for the day
Yeah.
to go to an appointment, because you're like, actually,
Yeah.
we don't really have the structure to be able to provide X, Y, and Z because everybody in our household is working.
Yeah.
And so we're still going to send our kid to camp every day
Yeah.
where it is more unstructured than the classroom or whatever those things may be.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Cool.
Cool. So I think this really shows quickly in just a couple of examples,
Yep.
you know, some of the ways that you can really utilize the power of AI to help navigate. And it definitely takes some time. You know, Diana and I have been practicing our prompts and how to write things a certain way that it feels like it works. And we're getting the outputs. And, you know, we talk about what you put in is what you get out, right? So the better you get at identifying what you're looking to get out, the better you're going to receive on the outcoming outputs from it. But it's definitely a faster and more directed way of getting information than a Google search. It will take you a lot less time. And I feel like a lot of times it generates more ideas or new ways of thinking when
Yeah.
it comes to just your family, mental health, or even other things outside of mental health that you might be thinking about.
Yep. So don't be afraid of AI. Use it to your advantage.
Totally.
And we hope this was super helpful. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.